Welcome back to Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer questions we receive from you, our viewers. If you have a question yourself, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir, here's a question that we have here. I find it hard to believe that God, who is absolute in his methodology, did not explicitly designate a successor. Why would God not make it clear to Muhammad to appoint a caliph after his death? So we recently did a discussion on the Sunni Shiite split. We talked about the succession of the Prophet Muhammad. So maybe this is a follow-up question.
Yeah, well, just to give more background to this, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, died, and as far as we know, he did not appoint a successor. Then Muslims decided to appoint Abu Bakr, and some others were discontent with this appointment, but nevertheless, Abu Bakr received a very wide support, and he became de facto the caliph, and after him, some other caliphs until Ali, the fourth caliph, and some feel that Ali should have been the first, and they think he was actually appointed, but we do not have any firm records in the Sunni collections, which are deemed to be the more authentic collections of reports about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So hence the question, okay, why didn't he appoint a caliph? Because then that would have settled the issue very simply, right?
Exactly, and God appointed the Prophet Muhammad. Why not appoint someone to come after him?
Yes. So now we must ask about the wisdom of this situation. Maulana Wahiduddin Khan, a scholar from India, has written a number of books, and he has argued that the way in which this was left shows that the ruler, the caliph in Islam, is not to be divinely appointed. Whereas in fact, if the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had appointed one, then he would have appointed his successor, and it will come down through divine appointment all down through the ages.
So the individual would have been seen as another prophet?
Or at least as kind of an infallible guide, or at least one who is acting on divine appointment. But the way in which it was left, it means now that Muslims are free to elect their leader. And then the leader can not only be elected by Muslims, but also deposed by Muslims. And that means that the Muslims would keep a watch over their leaders. They would, yes, follow their leaders when he's acting justly, but they could also depose him when he's acting unjustly, or they can replace leaders through another election when that comes up if the previous leader was not acting in the best interests of the people and according to the teachings of God and his Prophet. So to Maulana Wahiduddin Khan, actually this is the divine wisdom in leaving it this way, that the Prophet, peace be upon him, did not appoint somebody to rule, but left it up to the community to select their leader.
I guess the implication then is that it doesn't really matter who the leader is. You have the guidance already. You've got the Quran and the Sunnah, or the practice of the Prophet Muhammad, to guide you.
Yes, and of course the leader is needed for the practical implementation of these sources of guidance, and also for things which are not actually mentioned in these sources of guidance, but things which are needed and which would fall back on the wisdom and the good judgment both of the leader and the community at large. So the leader then in Sunni Islam becomes a practical consideration, not a theological issue.
All right, we'll leave it at that. That's all the time we have. Visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com, and check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QuranSpeaks. As always, please continue to write to us. Your comments and questions help guide the show. I'm Safiya Ali for all of us here at Let the Quran Speak. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.